So the key to walking a dog is when you walk a dog, he's got to understand to give up for your touch before you walk it. So practice taking its balance and time and touch and tone. In the inside, I have other videos about that. But when you're walking them outside, you do the same thing. As you do inside, it's just, it takes a little more practice because there's more triggers and they tend to, it's hard. You know, you get distracted. But when you practice taking the dog's balance, then he associates the sound that you make and coming forward with taking his balance. And then you don't have to keep on taking his balance. Prong collars, you're just always going to have to use a prong. When you practice taking their balance, you don't always, look, I'm not doing anything to him. If I was to practice walking him with a prong collar, then I need a prong collar. Or an e-collar. Whatever. If I practice walking him with nothing, then sooner or later I'll figure out how to do it. And the way to do it is you practice taking the dog's balance, and he associates, when you do it, you make a sound. And then when you come forward and make that sound, he associates it with you providing a limit, taking his balance. When you take a dog's balance, you take everything from it. You don't need to punish it. It doesn't make sense. You're supposed to help it learn how to behave by not punishing it. The premise doesn't make any sense. It'll always be a prong collar or an e-collar. You'll never learn how to do anything else. The dog won't listen to it. I had a German short hair pointer I was working with once, and he would not listen. And I tried everything. He was a beautiful dog, and he seemed to have all the good stuff, but I could not get him to listen to me, and it was so strange. And it went on. And finally, I went over to their house. I usually went there 5 days a week, and I went to their house on a weekend, and the owner, the husband, wasn't at work. He just got back from walking the dog at the field, and he had a shock collar on it, and I didn't know. You know, I tell people not to use it. I'm trying to get the dog to listen to me with less and less. How am I going to get him to listen to me with less when you're doing that? It doesn't work. It didn't work. You have to practice getting more with less. Not just punishing him, but teaching him a lesson, like teaching him boundaries and rules with your time and touch and tone. Then when you practice that in the house, you bring them out here and you do the same thing. And they learn to associate you with providing a limit. And then, look, there's a squirrel right there. And I'm sure you guys, if you watched other videos, you've seen dogs following me on a bike or walking past deer or doing things that only calm dogs could do. It doesn't matter the breed. There are pit bulls that are very timid, and there are little Goldens that are very powerful and dominant. So